We want to go ahead and get started. Will everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next, we're going to do roll call to establish a quorum.
Commissioner William Allen.
Present.
Commissioner Ola Morris. Present. Commissioner Maurice Mabon.
Present.
Commissioner Frida Graves.
Present.
Attorney Jewel Harris Jr.
Present.
Finance Manager Jerome Foster.
Present.
And that's the end of roll call.
Okay, we have enough for a quorum. I guess first off, I'd like to introduce our newest member today, Ms. Frida Graves. It's a pleasure to have her on the board. I don't know if you wanted to say hello.
Hello. Good morning. It's good. I'm glad to be on the board to be able to serve. Frida Graves, Director of Faith Food Medicine. Been at Faith Food Medicine approximately 10 years and a born Gary resident. Good afternoon. Good morning, rather. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And welcome to the team. All right, for certification, since nothing pertains to the Gary Sanitary District, we don't need to conduct that. The election of officers are going to be conducted at the next regular meeting once we have all members present. So now we'll just move into the minutes.
Here, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to accept the executive session and regular meetings of December 16, 2024. Is there a second?
So a motion's been made. Is there a second to approve the meeting minutes of December 16th? Okay, we have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Graves.
Abstain.
Commissioner Mabon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Yes. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 3 ayes with 1 abstaining vote.
With 3 ayes and 1 abstention, the minutes have been approved. Next, we have new business, 2.1. Attorney Harris?
Yes, 2.1 is a motion to approve the hiring of Reagan Hatcher as Executive Director of the Gary Sanitary District. As the board is aware, we have received a recommendation from the mayor, and the board is being asked to consider the hiring of Reagan Hatcher to serve as our Executive Director effective immediately.
Okay, after hearing the overview for 2.1, what is the pleasure of the board?
So move for acceptance, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Motion's been made and properly second for 2.1. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Graves.
Yes.
Commissioner Mabon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Yes. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
For 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.1 has been approved. And congratulations, Ms. Hatcher.
Thank you.
Next, we have 2.2. Ms. Hatcher, you want to?
Yeah, so I asked the board to change the cadence of the board meetings beginning this month, 2025. First of all, thank you, board, for your confidence and your vote for approval today. But I did ask the board to change the cadence of the meeting schedules to Friday instead of Monday, same time, and for executive session and board meeting.
I thank you. What is the pleasure of the board for acceptance of 2.2?
So move for acceptance, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Motion's been made and properly seconded for 2.2. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Graves.
Yes.
Commissioner Mabon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Yes. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.2 has been approved. Next, we have 2.3, payroll. Mr. Foster?
Thank you. Make a motion to approve and ratify GSD payroll earnings for period ending December 2nd, 2024 through December 15th, 2024 in the amount of $256,145.73.
Okay, thank you. After hearing the overview for 2.3 and the recommendation, What is the pleasure of the board?
So move for acceptance, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion. Is there a second? We have a motion and it's properly been second for 2.3, which is acceptance of payroll earnings. Any discussion?
Can ratification also be added to that?
Yes, it can.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion, comments, questions? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, payroll has been approved. Next, we have 2.4.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're providing motion to, asking the board to approve Resolution 25-01, an amended agreement for security services, increasing the amount from $17 an hour to $17.50 per hour.
Okay. After hearing the overview and recommendation for 2.4, well, what is the pleasure of the board?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Okay, motion has been made and properly seconded for 2.4. Any discussion?
Mr. Hatcher, all the other conditions remain the same? It's just the
Yes,
salary?
this is salary.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Which is an increase of 50 cents. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please, for 2.4.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.4 has been approved. Next, we have 2.5.
Mr. President, we would ask that you approve Resolution 24-10, 24-2. However, there's one problem, and I need an amendment from a board member. Letter B, Michael Suggs, Chief Operating Officer, Chief of Operations. That number should be $18,960.56 instead of $20,000.
Okay, so we have a typo now.
No, it came from City Hall, but I received notification this morning that the number was wrong on that one person.
Okay.
So when we do get a motion, just make the motion as amended.
Okay.
Okay. Were there any other changes or that?
That is
that's
it. $18,960.56.
Okay. After hearing the overview and recommendations, for 2.5, what is the pleasure of the board?
Just 1 second here. So move for approval. I just had one question, and did we change the amount for the mayor? Did we reduce that?
That amount is the same from the first. Go ahead, Ron.
No, actually, it was reduced by $75.
Oh, okay. So we're going to, okay. So that's not an error, that's actual?
No, that's accurate.
Okay. All right, so move.
And then, just to clarify, that motion is, as amended with the correct, number that was stated by, our executive director.
Yes, and one more thing I want to add to that, as we're doing amendments, the effective date for the mayor is January 1st, or it's 2025, not 2024, as on here.
Okay.
Need a second.
So is there a second for the amended motion?
I second with the necessary correction.
Okay, any discussion? Any other discussion or comments or questions? All right, hearing none. Roll call for 2.5, please.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris.
Yes.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.5 has been approved. Next, we have 2.6.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a motion to approve the GSE Resolution 25-03, approving the preliminary engineering reports for submission to the State Revolving Fund Loan Program for 27th and Chase. We'll have the Director of Engineering, Kola Awasika, come up and give an overview on this item. You can stay.
Yeah, item 2.6 and 2.7, just a little different because of the location and because of either the procedure, but they're almost the same thing. There's a project, 27 and Chase. There are 3 phases. Phase 1 and Phase 2 were done using the U.S. Army Corps to prosecute the project or to fund it. The Phase 3, we're using the IFA, Indiana Finance Authority, to fund the project. So there are processes to follow just to get the loan or the SRF from IFA. So one of the processes is to have the board approve that we can submit you are approving of the project, so you are signing up that that we can continue, to go ahead with the project, to complete the process of submission to the IFA. So that is for 27 and Chase. And for the item 2.7, that's what I'm saying, we should, put them together. The process of 27 and Chase is final stage. 15 and Clay is about the first stage, because we still have to do, what's called it, public hearing. So we still have to come again to the board to sign up that we can submit the project, 15 and Clay, to IFA. So I will appreciate if we can just group the 2 projects together for approval.
Okay, so we have 2 different projects going through the same process, seeking approval for preliminary engineering reports for 27th and Chase Pump Station Force Main Replacement Phase 3 project, and then 15th and Clay Pumping Station bar screen replacement. And we're going to be working with IFA to provide funding for both of the projects. And so you're asking if we can lump both 2.6 and 2.7 together.
That's correct.
Okay. After hearing the overview and recommendation for both 2.6 and 2.7, what is the pleasure of the board?
So move for acceptance, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Are there any comments or questions regarding 2.6 or 2.7? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please, for acceptance of 2.6 and 2.7.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes on 2.6 and 2.7.
Commissioner Maybon,
Yes, in both.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
There are 4 ayes and 0 noes for approval of 2.6 and 2.7. All right, thank you. Next, we have 2.8.
This is a motion, requesting a motion to approve GSE Resolution 2505, which is a declaratory resolution of the board with respect to its intention for the issuance of bonds. Brandon Comer is here if there is an overview needed.
Yeah, can you please give us a quick overview?
Sure. We're recommending approval of the declaratory resolution, and the purpose is for the purchase of the garbage trucks. And a resolution 24-04 was approved in July for the acquisition of the garbage trucks, and this is just to actually authorize the issuance of the bonds for the purchase.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we have we just completed the overview, and we're given a recommendation for approval for 2.8. What is the pleasure of the board?
So moved for approval, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and seconded for 2.8. Any comments, questions, discussions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.8 has been approved. Next, we have 2.9.
2.9 is a professional service contract between Gary Sanitary District and Harris Law Firm for professional legal services for 2025.
Okay, well, what is the pleasure of the board for 2.9?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.9 has been approved. Next, we have 2.10.
2.10 is a motion to approve the contract between Gary Sanitary District and Taft, Steadiness, and Hollister LLP. This is separate from our contract with Harris Law Firm. Taft has worked with us extensively on the GSD consent decree with the federal regulators, including the Department of Justice and the Environmental Protection Agency. Environmental law, the utility and regulator issues. And so this is all of our work with the contract communities and with the DOJ.
Okay, so this is just an extension of their services through December 31st of 2025.
Yes.
And then their billing rates are attached. Okay, what is the pleasure of the board for 2.10?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Graves.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Maybon,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.10 has been approved. Next, we have 2.11.
2.11 is a motion to approve and ratify an amendment to our agreement with Republic Services. And you all heard in 2.8, the issuance of bonds. That is for garbage trucks. The intention is to keep Republic on for one additional year through 12/31/2025 to continue garbage pickup service as we implement an in-house garbage program that will operate from GSD. One thing that I would like to mention is that the recycling portion of the Republic contract will no longer be in effect. That means that curbside recycling pickup will stop as of February 1st. You will see information in your next Gary Sanitary District bill as to where our recycling drop-off locations will be. That will be coming, and we will also announce it at the next board meeting, those locations across the city. But I just wanted to add that in, that we will have Republic services for garbage through the end of this year as we implement our own in-house program.
Reagan, do we have numbers available for the recycling tonnage?
No, but I can tell you that about 2,300 households out of the approximately 19 to 20,000 households recycle. So it's a very small percentage of the households, and the cost that we're expending to Republic to run the program far outweighed the benefit to the community. And so now we don't want people to stop recycling, but we certainly just want them to take it to these drop-off locations. And the drop-off locations will accept cardboard, paper, and clean plastics.
And if I could add to that too, the cost for continued curbside recycling services was set to increase fairly significantly as well. And that's the reason for the shift in how we're handling recycling.
Absolutely. And if you look at surrounding communities, everybody is turning to this drop-off site setup because it was just so costly to the communities. And with us having to sign a one-year agreement with Republic, we just wanted to keep that cost as low as possible to not have to raise rates on the citizens.
Well, those numbers nationally are about the same as ours, with the exception of San Francisco. I think they average about 8% of the people recycle. So, I mean, you look at the city of Chicago, they only have 7%. And so it's really the cost that's incurred for recycling far exceeds the number of people that are actually recycling, because you have to do that on a contractual basis, correct? Okay.
That's right. And so you'll see the rollout. There'll be plenty of information. Check your 311 system through the city of Gary, that app. The information will be on all of those. And as I said, we'll be announcing the specific locations at the next meeting, and they'll be in your next GSD bill.
Now, will we have to segregate the plastics from the paper?
Nope, it all goes into one container, but that's why we don't want to get too fancy with our recycling. We want to stick to cardboard, paper, and clean plastics.
Okay.
Okay. So before us, we have the approval and ratification agreement between the city, I'm sorry, between Gary Sanitary District and Republic Services for their waste services until the end of the year, December 31st, 2025. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Rea,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Yes. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.11 has been approved.
I did have a question, Reagan. Republic had proposed a price increase, correct?
Yes.
And so we're going to basically subsidize that. So in the future, we take care of this ourselves.
Yeah, so, and we were able, with the removal of recycling, we were able to stay within our limit, even with their increase, without having to raise rates this year. We know when we bring it in-house, the cost will go down significantly, just because that profit that's built into their margins won't be built into ours.
Right.
And so we'll be able to take it and move forward without any additional price increasings.
And not only that, in the future, you know, Republic's a publicly traded company. They answer to shareholders. They don't answer to us.
That's right.
Appreciate the work.
All right, next we have 2.12.
2.12 is a motion to approve and ratify the award of bids to Met Sewer. This is 212, 213, 214, and 215, which are all separate projects. So I just asked Director of Engineering, Kola Owasika, come up and give an overview on these items.
All these here. Okay. Maybe ask him to cover it. Mr. Kola, just a question for you. 2.12, 2.13, and 2.14, they're all related?
Yeah, they are different locations,
Okay.
but
They're all,
2.1 is just to ratify because it was an emergency.
okay. One emergency, okay.
Okay.
So if you want to give an overview for all of them, we can handle the emergency under a motion, and then we can handle the non-emergencies. We can entertain a single motion for those.
That'd be good. Be a good way to go.
Okay. So so we'll start off with, I guess, which one is the emergency?
Yeah, the 2.1. It's an emergency because there was a cave-in during the Christmas, and it caused a backup into a house, and Aden was involved. I mean, they came out here for investigation, but we have to move quickly, to get the projects going, and then to remedy the situation. So we did the investigation, and we did the specifications. We called the contractors out there on the scene, and then we make sure that we got the project going within 1 day of the receipt of the specifications.
Okay.
And then Director Hatcher approved of it, just to be ratified by the board.
Okay. All right. After hearing the overview and recommendation for the emergency repair, 2.12, within the vicinity of 920 West 55th Avenue, in the amount not to exceed $172,225. What is the pleasure of the board?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly second. Any other discussion?
Just had a question. What are we using now out there? Temporary pumps that we started to work at?
Sometimes we use the vector truck, and we use bypass pumping. Bypass pumping.
Oh, bypass? Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, if there's no other further questions or discussion,
Which one?
roll call, please, for 2.12.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
The emergency one, the contractor already moved to the site, so the contractor is already,
It's already in place?
yeah.
Okay,
working.
they mobilized and, okay, thank you.
So he gotta get paid, huh, Cola? All right, go ahead.
All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Neva,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Yes. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.12 has been approved. Okay, and so we have 2.13 and 2.14. These are, I'm sorry. COLA is 2.15 inclusive as well? Okay. All right, board, so we have a recommendation for approval for 2.13, which is a sewer repair within the vicinity of 4311 East 12th Place, in the amount not to exceed $125,015. For 2.14, we have sewer repairs within the vicinity of 558 Jefferson Street for not to exceed amount of $136,480. And then for 2.15, we have a sanitary sewer repair within the vicinity of 539 Maryland Street in the amount not to exceed $85,450. And it looks like all work is to be conducted by Met's Sewer Plumbing and Pumping, LLC. What is the pleasure of the board?
So move, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion for approval of 2.13,
2.4,
14,
right.
and 15. Is there a second? Motion's been made and properly second for the approval of the 3 items. Any discussion? Any questions?
Just had a question, Mr. Cola. Last year, I guess we were just lucky. We didn't have a lot of cave-ins. Is that, well, I'll wait till you get back up there. Or Jabaz, you could have got up there. So last year, we had very few cave-ins, correct?
We have some cave-ins, and we actually did a lot of work on cave-ins last year as well. Yeah, we did. We have a lot of cave-ins last year.
Did we do it in-house?
No, we don't do cave-ins in-house.
Don't do any of them in-house, okay?
Yeah, we contract them out.
Well, maybe they weren't a ton during winter season. I mean, we're still in it, but I recall having a lot of cave-ins throughout the year.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were told that when we were looking at the budget, and one of the reasons we had some surpluses in some areas because we didn't have some of the cave-ins. We had less cave-ins last year.
Oh. I guess compared to previous years.
Right. It's enough.
Yeah, when I look at the budget, I think there must be some big oversight or omission because
Okay.
it
Well,
wasn't,
no-
all the projects were not captured.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have claims, 3.1. Mr. Foster?
Thank you. I'd like to approve or ratify GSD claim numbers 1 through 66.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't do a roll call. Yeah, good catch. Ms. Graves. All right, roll call, please, for the acceptance of 2.13, 14, and 15.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybach,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Yes. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.13 through 15 has been approved. All right, sorry, Mr. Foster. Now, claims.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve and ratify GSD claim numbers number 1 through 66 in the amount of $184,233.02.
All right, so what is the pleasure of the board for 3.1?
So move for approval, Mr. Chair,
Is there a second?
and ratification.
For ratification, is there a second? Motion's been made and properly second for 3.1. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Graves,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybach,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris. Yes. Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes with 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, claims have been approved. Next, we have information updates, construction activities. Mr. Anderson? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. Greetings, board. So I'll be reading my progress report for construction projects. There is currently the Lake Street drainage improvements and road construction project going on. There's pretty much no update with it. We're still waiting on site restoration and the final work that's planned for the spring. And then John will come and speak more on that, I'm pretty sure. The US 20 Complete Street project is still currently holding for the winter, and we're waiting for the utility relocation. So those are the updates with those two projects. And then as far as the status of current cave-ins, we have Kentucky Street and then the 920 West 55th Avenue that is currently going on.
For the US 20 complete enhancement project, what was the estimated completion date for that?
It was supposed to be December this year.
December 25?
Yeah, December this year, 2025.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have any other comments or questions for Mr. Anderson? All right, thank you. Next, we have American Structure Point.
Good afternoon, Board. Happy New Year.
New Year.
John Tucker, American Structure Point. I'm here to give the status reports. Jim Zarnick is on vacation this week, so I'll give the updates for our sanitary project, 15th and Clay Pump Station Grit Removal System. 60% design is complete. Currently working through 90% design with a target completion of February 19th. Gary Sanitary, 15th and Clay Pump Station Screen and CSO regulator gate replacement, slow down. The PR and IFA coordination draft has been completed and sent to GSD on 12/20 for review. Our hydraulic evaluation is complete. We are complete with 30% design and currently targeting February 3rd for the 60% design phase of that project. Lastly, our 27th and Chase Force Main Phase 3. Structure Point, we submitted 100% complete designs to Gary Sanitary District. Next steps, we'll be coordinating with IFA and American Water on lead service line project timeline for that project. If there's any questions, I can take and give back to Mr. Zarnik or attempt to answer anything that the board may have.
Do we have any questions for Mayor Construction Point at this time? All right, no, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have discussion. Are there any items or topics that any of the commissioners would like to discuss at this time? Okay, hearing none. Are there any requests to speak?
Yes, we have two, with the first being Mr. Robert Buggs.
Okay, Mr. Buggs, as you approach the podium, this is for everyone. If you could please state your name and your address. Your comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please be respectful of the audience, the board members, and the staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Board. My name is Robert L. Buggs. I live at 4002 Rhode Island Street, Gary, Indiana, 46409. I'm the precinct committee person for G618. And I'm here today because we have what I consider a death trap of a cave-in. If I may approach, Mr. President, I'd like for you all to see these photos so that you can see how serious the issue that I'm talking about is. Yesterday, one of the citizens brought it to my attention. I went out and took some pictures. And I spoke to Mr. Anderson today. And the citizen was told, so was I today, that it has to be put out to bid and then come back for the board for, I guess, to pass, or give whoever gives the bid. I proposed to him that those holes are so dangerous because you see the animal tracks. It's for a homeless person, somebody's walking in a windstorm at night, and they fall in the hole is about 7 or 8 feet deep. They can't get out. That's why I call it a death trap. I suggested that he get 2 pieces of 4x8, 1-inch thick plywood to put over the board, secure it, and then put that barrel and that little tape around there. Because as I spoke to him today, there's no definite time to repair that. That could go on for a month or 2 months, waiting on the bids to come in and then having a board meeting. That is serious. And that's why I came here today, to let you know how serious it is, because I didn't want to get too close when I was taking those pictures, because I didn't know what caused the cave-in, because the citizen told me it's getting bigger and bigger. So in a month's time, that right now it's about 7 feet deep and about 4 feet circular, big circle. So that's why I'm here today. And one other issue that we have been talking to Sanitary District and the city for over a year, the same thing is behind the main library, 220 West Fifth Avenue. The city came out and put a little orange bell there like they did this incident, and that's it. A senior citizen got stuck in there when they was coming out for early voting, and several men had to lift a car out of there to get it out of there. So it's been over a year now that we've been trying to get that taken care of. So that's it. I'd just like to have some resolve about that. 4231 Georgia Street, or Malcolm X Boulevard, which is now.
Okay, if you don't mind, after this meeting concludes, just sticking around for a little bit so that we can gather all that information. And I'll help you address the issue behind the library. But then we'll also, connect with the staff in order to get more information about the sinkhole.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
The second person for request to speak is Jake Summers.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Jake Summers, account manager with Cintas here. I'm just here today to follow up. I know there was a bid awarded for the uniform rental and mat services in October and significant cost savings. All we need is a signature on our contract. We did get the bid award form, but we just need seeking a contract signature for that, so I can get that to whoever I need to after this, but that's all I had.
We can get that for you today while you're here.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other requests to speak?
No, sir.
Okay, next we have adjournment. Is Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the stormwater meeting. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're going to get started. This is the Gary Stormwater Management District meeting. Today is January 10th, 2025. Can we please have roll call?
Director William Allen.
Present.
Director Ola Morris. Present. Director Maurice Mabon.
Present.
Director Frida Graves.
Present.
Attorney Jewel Harris Jr.
Present?
Finance Manager Jerome Foster.
Present.
And that's the end of roll call.
Okay. With 4 commissioners present, 1 absent, we have a quorum. For certification pursuant to Indiana law, section 5-14-1.5 through 6.1, I certify that prior to the start of today's meeting, there was an executive session held. There was nothing discussed in the session that was not indicated on the posted notice. That being in compliance with Indiana statutes, there were no final votes held during the executive session for stormwater. Does any commissioner dissent? Okay, hearing none. We'll move on to minutes. 1.1, what is the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to accept the executive session and regular meeting minutes of December 16, 2024.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion that's been properly seconded for the approval or acceptance of the minutes for December 16th. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call for approval.
Director Graves.
Abstain.
Director Mabon.
Yes.
Director Morris. Director Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 3 ayes and 1 abstention.
With 3 ayes and 1 abstention, the minutes have been approved. Next, brings us a new business. We have 2.1.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I think before we move on, you probably want to acknowledge that Mr. Cook has a excusable absence for today's meeting.
Okay.
She's already.
Okay. For the record.
Yes.
Okay, so we're still at 2.1.
I'll do it.
So, Attorney Harris, please.
Yes, 2.1 is a request for a motion to approve the hiring of Reagan Hatcher as the Executive Director of the Gary Stormwater Management District. Similar to the action taken by the commissioners during the GSD meeting, we have received a recommendation from the mayor for Reagan Hatcher to serve as the Executive Director of the district. That'd be inclusive of the Stormwater Management District, and I'm recommending approval.
Okay, after hearing the overview and recommendation for 2.1, which is the hiring of Reagan Hatcher as Executive Director for the Gary Stormwater Management District, what is the pleasure of the board?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion for 2.1? Hearing none, roll call.
Director Graves.
Yes.
Director Mabon.
Yes.
Director Morris. Director Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.1 has been approved. Next, we have 2.2.
Thank you, Board, again for your positive vote in 2.1. I'm happy to be here and to serve the Gary Sanitary District and the Gary Stormwater District. 2.2 is a request to change the meeting calendars to hold all meetings on Fridays instead of Mondays, same time for executive session and regular board meeting.
Okay. What is the pleasure of the board for 2.2?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Director Graves.
Yes.
Director Maybon?
Yes.
Director Morris? Director Allen?
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.2 has been approved. Next, we have 2.3. This is payroll. Mr. Foster?
Thank you. I make a motion to approve and ratify GSWMD payroll earnings for period ending December 2nd, 2024 through December 15th, 2024 in the amount of $9,466.95.
Okay, we have a recommendation for approval for 2.3 payroll. What is the pleasure of the board?
So move for approval, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly second for 2.3. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Director Graves?
Yes.
Director Maybon?
Yes.
Director Morris? Director Allen?
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, payroll has been approved. Next, we have 2.4.
Thank you, Mr. President. I recommend a motion to approve the professional service contract between the Geary Stormwater Management District and Harris Law Firm for the year 2025.
Okay, we have a recommendation for acceptance of professional services, which is 2.4. And, I'm sorry, what was the?
Just 2.4.
I was looking for the not to exceed amount.
I can actually shed some light on that.
Okay.
Yeah, there actually isn't an amount not to exceed figure on this one. So the reason I have a contract with both GSD and Stormwater is because, obviously, I'm sitting during these meetings, but there, you'll see in the next professional services contract that Deidre Monroe does the lion's share of the legal services for Stormwater Management District. This just authorizes me to sit in on these meetings, and in the event the Stormwater Management District is ever sued, I'll handle litigation, but otherwise, it's Attorney Monroe that handles that, so, yeah.
Thank you. Any other discussion, comments? Okay, roll call, please, for 2.4.
Director Graves?
Yes.
Director Maybon?
Yes.
Director Morris? Director Allen?
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes with 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.4 has been approved. Next, we have 2.5.
2.5, we recommend the motion to approve a professional service contract between Geary Stormwater Management District and Attorney Deidre Monroe for the year 2025.
Okay. We have a recommendation for approval of 2.5. What is the pleasure of the board?
So move, Mr. Chair, for approval.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call?
Director Graves?
Yes.
Director Maybon?
Yes.
Director Morris? Director Allen?
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, 2.5 has been approved. Next, we have claims. Mr. Foster?
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve and ratify GSWMD claims number 1 in the amount of $6,490.61.
Okay, thank you. Well, what is the pleasure of the board for 3.1?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Director Graves?
Yes.
Director Maybon?
Yes.
Director Morris? Director Allen?
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With 4 ayes and 0 noes, claims have been approved. Next, we have information updates. Ms. Brenda Scott Henry?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I just have a few updates for you. One being a series of meetings that will take place where we will host the regional NISWAG meeting here at GSD on March 4th. We initially were going to do it next month, but we pushed it back. We'll also have the contractors training, and we need to do a mass promotion of that event because this is where we talk to our contractors about how to do the stormwater permit And this is and this information is shared with with 3 counties, Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties. So that event will be held in Valparaiso this year. Last year was in Lake County. And that meeting will be on March 19th from 7 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And we do provide them refreshments. So all MS4 communities come together to support that event. And we identify sponsors to help cover the expenses. And thirdly, we have completed a draft of the technical standards that the MS4 team will begin to review. Once Metrics complete that review, we complete the review and give it back to Metrics for comments, then we will bring it before the board for acceptance, and then that will be the guidelines that we use for our stormwater permit and operations.
So what will be the final acceptance then?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and that's all I have. If you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to respond.
Do we have any questions or comments for Ms. Brenda Sky-Harry?
Oh, I want to promote one item. I forgot about this. On tomorrow at the Gary Public Library, the City of Gary, along with Fate CDC, will be hosting a Solar Family Fun Day. And this is an event where we're beginning to promote, provide awareness to the community about solar, dispelling the myth that people may have about solar. And this is one of many events that we will sponsor. It's a collective effort, so we're building partnership with various nonprofit organizations or organizations throughout the city for this event. So I'm late for a meeting right now that our guest from the Department of Energy is here already to just get a feel for the city. Good day for them to see a tour, right? So we had lots of snow. But they're here today to just get familiar with the city of Gary, and then tomorrow we'll host the event, and then we'll plan a series of events later on with them. So you guys may have seen it on Facebook. If you're not following the Office of Sustainability and Environmental Affairs, please do. But we are promoting that event. It's tomorrow at the Gary Public Library. That's all I have.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, next we have American Structure Point.
Good afternoon, Directors. John Tucker, American Structure Point. Just a quick update, Lake Street. We are in a winter shutdown right now, so work will resume in the spring, working with the contractor to finalize quantities up to date and work on time extensions so we can set the completion date as well. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Do we have any questions or comments for American Structure Point?
Jen, when you do start back, how far from completion would you say you are on Lake Street?
We're, I'd say, a couple months, weather dependent. We have speed humps to put in, which are asphalt, so temperature dependent. Our pavement markings.
Oh, there's going to be speed bumps in the street?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And really, that is about all. And any other miscellaneous restoration that we still need to take care of that didn't happen either this fall or just everything was late in the fall. So there might be some reworking of seeding or sod or what have you to make sure that that's there as well. And we, again, punch list items, and there are some adjustments we'll have to make out there as well on some manhole castings. But very minimal actual future work that has to be done to have the contract complete. And then it's just closeout work from there.
Just a request on behalf of the city, if we can just receive cut sheets and information pertaining to street lighting.
Yes.
Just so that we can make sure that it's within the inventory, especially since we completed the audit, want to make sure that any lights that, weren't existing are then added to the findings.
Yes.
So.
Yep, I could put a package together for the lights that we added, including what was installed and the submittals and what have you, so you have everything there, and you can let me know if you need more from that.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to go beyond the pre-existing lights?
What's that?
You're going to go beyond the pre-existing lights?
They were existing NIPSCO lights that were out there. I'm not sure if they were existing city-owned lights on Lake Street.
No, if there were a couple that were just north of Third before the bridge that were part of the old, the older Lake Street. There were a couple there that we removed very early, but everything else were lights that were off NIPSCO poles. I do not believe there was any other city lights that are there, but we can give you an inventory of what we installed and then what were the requests that were going to be removed. So then you can
Perfect,
match
yep.
up on your end as well.
Exactly, okay, perfect.
Yes.
Any other comments, questions? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Robinson Engineering.
Good afternoon, directors, and Happy New Year. Ron Smith with
New Year.
Robinson Engineering. Welcome aboard, new board member and also new director. We're currently working on a couple of task orders. One task order is for the northeast area septic to sewer feasibility study, and the next one is the Black Oak subdivision 8-inch sewer extension project. So I'll be scheduling a meeting with the engineering department and also the new director to go over these. Other than that, that's about all I have for this afternoon. Now entertain any questions that the members may have.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have discussion. Are there any items that any of the directors would like to discuss at this time? Okay, are there any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Okay, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.